I am gonna prove to you that Falcon, aka Captain America, will be able to clip the wings of Starscream. Let's go! I know what you're saying. Starscream, the second in command of the Decepticon? The freaking 20-foot, 120-ton narcissistic Cybertronian mech who can turn into a Lockheed Martin F-22 Raptor with an immortal Allspark? The brother that got the firepower of a small army and that has no issue of hitting out the 1-2 in the drop biscuit special to whomever, including his own teammates and leader, if he's not the leader himself. What is a 6'4", 240-pound brother in tights and a shag with some wings gonna do to this maniac? Well, I'm glad you asked. Take a seat, have an apple, clashes in session. Lesson number 1, stop slipping on the freaking Falcon! Before I get into his feats, I've been seeing a lot of people disrespecting this brother like he didn't obtain one of the heaviest mantles in fiction by becoming Captain America. This brother ain't no slouch. This brother ain't just a normal dude. They didn't ask us to become Captain America. Although it's a common plot point, Sam Wilson is far from living in the shadow of Steve Rogers. And after this video, I promise you, you will know that this brother ain't no joke. Now for lesson number 2. His gear though. Let's be clear, this brother Sam has wore more outfits than Shaq has been on teams. And although I will be primarily talking about the more recent fit from the Captain America Symbol of Truth book, the X07, but I will be showing other feats from other costumes just for the flight and utility references. So don't come at me in the comments like, you're using multiple outfits, brother. Oh, those outfits is old. Well, if you want to use the most recent, this brother Starscream is connected to a remote control Jeep right now. The brother can't even fly, so yeah. Now this brother Sam Wilson doesn't just have vibranium woven into his outfit, kind of like how Delali did Samson's hair to a blanket. He has a 50-foot wingspan vibranium hard light set of wings that is cybernetically linked to him to be able to do whatever the freak he wants it to do instantly. I'm talking about on the level of some Dr. Octavius tips. Keep that in mind, it's going to be real important in the future. I can also talk about his visor having infrared, magnification, sensors that enable him to see 360 degrees on some Neji tip. It's that 360 vision that got this brother ducking and dodging like how I dodge the vegetables on a plate of fried chicken. I'm about that chicken, baby. But you could probably care less about a visor, right? Because you're probably thinking, who cares? These freaking Transformers are huge. And because these brothers are over 20 foot tall, these brothers are as durable as they come. We have seen countless times when people try to bring that hood energy and these bullets are literally tickling them. Then they get punted across the freaking neighborhood. This brother's like, ah! He probably want to fly into a freaking Arby. This brother Megatron is walking casually through a freaking army. They're lighting everything off. They're like, da, 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 da. This brother's just smiling. I would have gave him the nuclear codes right there and been like, yo, my brother, my bad. I didn't know you was rolling like this. He must be on that stuff. He's on that new Energon. Fam over here trying to get some hood points and put the chopper to the side on him. Big Worm would have been proud. And as this guy's lighting up for his freaking life, the Transformers looking at him like, keep it up there, buddy old pal. The brother can't feel jazzed. But realize this, no matter how durable they may be, they're not indestructible. I mean, this brother Soundwave almost lost his freaking arm when this girl drove off a freaking spaceship and hit him with the car. She was like, ah! Unless she was literally inside the airbag, I have no freaking idea how she even survived that. And I will say that Starscream and Soundwave are about the same in durability. I say this because Soundwave literally beat the living crap out of Starscream. Note to self, never kick fam's dog unless you want to deal with a freaking Cybertronian freaking John Wick. Now, we have seen our weapons do some serious damage to them. If there is one thing that mankind is actually good at, it's finding out how to destroy things. This message is approved by Ultron. And when looking at the old G.I. Joe Transformer book, Snake Eye's sword was actually slicing these dudes in half, and for the bigger ones, he was actually able to cut them in vulnerable areas. Which made me immediately realize, if Snake Eye's sword can cut them, vibranium will have no issue. We have seen Cap Shield alone break through helicopter propeller, freaking rip off the top of a tank easily. We've seen vibranium knives be able to pierce through armor easily. So let me change the perspective on how you see Falcon wings. Don't look at it as just wings. Look at it like he has a 50-foot vibranium sword connected to his freaking back. And the reason that we normally don't see him spinning like the Tasmanian freaking devil and freaking slicing people up like tempura sushi rolls is because he's a hero. But there are times where he gives us a slight glimpse on what he could do with those wings on the offensive. Like when he sliced this dude's head clean off, brought it up a notch with a little resistance, and cut this freaking machine's head clean off. Easily. He sliced this dude in half like a freaking Dunkin' Donuts buttered bagel. Then dove into this crowd like, I just started wailing on these dudes. But when I realized that this brother Falcon can fly mock biscuit and cut this humongous steel vessel that's bigger than Starscream in the sky, right there I realized this brother Falcon got a chance. That alone will be enough to bring some major damage to Starscream. But that killing blow isn't enough per se, because there's gonna be a lot of movement between both of these characters. Which brings me to my next lesson: float like a butterfly. With Starscream turning into a Martin F-22 Raptor with crazy firepower and murder on the mind, the Falcon will have to be able to maneuver through an onslaught of attack to be able to even hit him with a killing blow. And I'm confident because on many occasions we have seen this brother Falcon dodging not just one, but multiple fighter jets at the same freaking time, outmaneuvering them and taking them down. We had these brothers trying to shoot at him, and this brother Falcon was doing the MC Hammer saying, you can't touch this, down. You want to shoot multiple heat-seeking missiles? Ain't no problem, he dodging and weaving like Prime Ali. The entire army can't hit this dude. Do you know how nice you gotta be to outmaneuver the freaking army? That's why close range is easy work for him. He's doing all these maneuvers while moving at Mach speed. I mean, look how smooth this spin is. My brother's smooth out here. And remember, this brother could have just sliced those two dudes in half like nothing, but he's a hero. And I became even more confident that Falcon will be able to outmaneuver Starscream because reading the recent comic books of Transformers, this brother Starscream kind of suffered from Stormtrooper aim. This brother didn't just have issues targeting other jet fighters in his jet form, but this brother had issues hitting Optimus Prime as a freaking tractor trailer multiple times. Fam put all his skill points in being toxic, like he blew up this freaking hospital for no reason, and no skill points in aim. I believe that Falcon can evade any attacks that Starscream does in both forms. I mean, look at this crap. Duke from G.I. Joe actually dodged a punch, shot dude in the face, blinded him, and flew off in a jetpack. And this brother's jetpack doesn't have near the capabilities of the wings of freaking Falcon. I know Duke is nice with it, but if he could do it, Falcon can easily do it. So we established two things thus far: that this brother Sam Wilson can deal a critical blow and that he can outmaneuver Starscream. But the issue is, even the best of the best get hit sometimes. We seen Spider-Man, the amazing Spider-Man with all his agility get hit. We seen Nightcrawler and his teleportation get hit. We seen Daredevil and his heightened senses get hit. We seen Flash, the fastest man alive, even though everybody in that show was literally faster than him. We seen the Flash get hit. No matter how nice you are, no matter how fast you are, no matter how agile you are, you're going to get hit, and the Falcon ain't no different. Which brings me to my next lesson: the great within steel. I believe that we can all agree on one thing: that Transformers are way too freaking big to make mistakes. When you got dudes swatting cars like they're freaking Hot Wheel toys, there's a problem. I mean, this brother Starscream is so strong compared to humans that he literally just picks up this guy and squishes him like a grapefruit. He literally stomps on this dude like he's an ant, and disrespectfully claps his hand together and squishes this dude like he's an insect. So with such strength and firepower, there's really no room for error. Sam Wilson will have to have a little bit more than just being able to avoid his attack, which I respond to that with vibranium, baby. This dude got vibranium shields, vibranium wings, he got vibranium intertwined in his suit, making this brother literally a grape encased in steel. Fam was hit straight on by a freaking rocket launcher, and then he woke up and then landed with the superhero pose on fire, smelling like barbecue brother out here. This freaking crazy behind humongous Gatling gun that looks like it will even do damage to Transformers couldn't even move this dude. Now notice how he positioned his wings to cover the areas that the shield couldn't cover. Now that's style. This humongous airship was letting off wasn't doing Jack. Then he brings it up another level. He's getting saucy with it. He turns into a freaking sonic ball, and he's blocking projectiles from every direction. Behind him, in front of him, it doesn't matter. You're not hitting this dude. It's all covered like a good argument. Thor hammer can't get through his defenses, but we knew that. Iron Man repulsor blast reflects off of it, but we knew that. He catches buildings because the freaking wings open up. Remember, cybernetically connected to him. And he stops a roof from falling. Is he stomp proof? I wouldn't want to step on a big behind thumbtack. These feats alone will show that vibranium is enough to reflect back or absorb any attack that Starscream can give out. But with an opponent like Starscream, you have to utilize all your skills and advantages perfectly, which brings me to my most important lesson. And this lesson is called due to the Red Skull hitting his brother with the Cosmic Cube, bestowing the ability to be telepathically connected to not just Red Wing, but all birds on Earth. So many people sleep on this power and think it's just silly. But I'm gonna explain to you why this is one of the most terrifying pictures you will ever see. Because he can control every single one of them to attack you. I can send 3 pigeons at you right now and you will freaking run for your life or swing wildly trying to get them off you. And those birds aren't even in shape. They literally get on trains to go to the next stop and then walk off. You can give the world's strongest man a Gatling gun, and if you attack him with hundreds of birds, this dude is gonna run for his freaking life. His size, strength, and weapon would be meaningless. This dude is screaming for his life. He's like, yo, get these things off of me. He can't see nothing. He can't hear nothing. Falcon has such control over birds that when he was being attacked, he literally had hundreds of birds surround him and build a nest around him instantly. Listen to this crap. Falcon said from his own freaking mouth, in the United States of America alone, he has control over 6 billion birds. And that's any bird. Falcon, pigeon, swan, eagle, vultures, condor. Can you imagine getting attacked by 100 birds, 1,000 birds, 10,000 birds, in the hundreds of thousands or millions? It will literally be like Ratcatcher from the Suicide Squad. Yeah, one rat isn't gonna do anything to nobody, but 1,000,000 or 1,000,000,000 of them took down freaking Starro, who is the size of a freaking building. Anything in that quantity is a problem for whomever. And check this out. Some people are gonna be like, oh, this is foolish, but he can make them freaking crap on you. That's freaking right. He can make 10,000 birds, 1,000,000 birds, 10 birds. It doesn't freaking matter. Literally just crap all over you. Let me ask you something. How do you think your vision is gonna be? You will not be able to see jack. You are in a freaking snowstorm of crap. Don't worry, Falcon will be able to see because he can see through the eyes of any freaking bird also. That's why he's able to find anyone, anywhere, just because he can rather talk to the bird or look through the eyes of the bird, making him one of the most slept on spies in freaking fiction. Now, as we all know, Transformers have eyes. They need to see. There are times where Transformers get damaged and they are unable to see, they're blind. This happened to freaking Megatron. So I do not care how big Starscream is because he's not bigger than Starro. I don't care how much firepower he has. The Falcon will undoubtedly be able to distract him with thousands upon thousands upon thousands of birds swarming him. You're probably saying, oh, well, the bird's claws aren't gonna freaking scratch Transformers if bullets aren't. He doesn't need them to do that. He needs them to block off his vision, to distract him, to keep him unbalanced, so that he could perform the fatal blow with his wing, as previously shown. Remember when the Justice League was fighting Darkseid and they kept hitting him at off angles to kind of confuse him and he didn't know who to attack? That's the same type of technique that Falcon is gonna use, just with his bird. And that's not even including Red Wing, his ride or die, who could create supersonic attacks where it's just destroying eardrums. I am curious if that will work on a Transformer though. Being able to fly into Sentinels and actually take a Sentinel apart as he's telepathically being guided by the Falcon. Red Wing can communicate openings for the Falcon to attack at. And expressing all these techniques that the Falcon will use it brings me to my last lesson. Style makes fights. One of the things that really stood out to me is the personality types between these two. Falcon being side by side with Steve Rogers, teaming up with him, teaming up with Bucky, he is an impressive tactician. His field experience is as good as it can get. We have seen him engage in countless battles where he is outclassed in strength, but he comes out the victor because he uses his mind. He uses his surroundings. Like when this dude Armadillo, who is way stronger than him, he just kicked him in front of a freaking train and let the train do the work. Or when John Walker, also known as the US agent, was handing out the wombo combo with no gravy and no drink, Sam dragged him into a dark area, looked through the eyes of an owl, and beat the crap out of him. Sam Wilson has an incredibly high fighting IQ. Mix all of that with top grade equipment, we see why sometimes he comes out on top against stronger and more powerful opponents. But to pretend that Starscream isn't thousands of years old, with 1,000 years of war experience, and is a genius, would be absolutely foolish to ignore. To have thousands of years of any type of experience is crazy. But he is extremely arrogant, like on some Dr. Doom stuff. And a lot of times, before just doing the killing blow, he likes to play with his food a bit, which caused a human, like I told you before, Duke, to outmaneuver him, shoot him, and bounce, simply because he underestimated him. He thought all humans could just be stomped on like insects. So I believe that the Falcon has what it takes to take Starscream out with his vibranium wings. I believe that his defenses are good enough to block or absorb any attack with the vibranium. I believe the birds, along with Red Wing, is a strong enough support and distraction to keep Starscream flustered and out of balance with noise and poop and visual interference. And I believe that the Falcon has the IQ to calculate when and how to perform that killing blow.
Also, let's not forget that Falcon does have the home field advantage.
This fight is going to be hard as crap. No matter how you dice it, this is going to be a hard freaking fight. It will take every single strength and power of Falcon while preying and exploiting every weakness of Starscream in order for him to come out alive. But I believe he got the tools and the mind to do it. And if you disagree, meet me in the comments. I promise I'll get back to you. Peace.